Hello, everyone. I'm Paula, and welcome to Off the Clock. This is the show where job titles take a break and real conversations take the spotlight. No labels, no LinkedIn, perfect answers, just honest conversations. Quick thing before we get started, if you enjoy real conversations like this one, make sure to subscribe to my channel, Off Script with Paula. It's a new channel, so every support is really appreciated. Give this video a like, share it with friends and people you think you should be watching it. It really helps me to reach more people. And if you're joining us live, please say hi in the chat. We'll be watching your comments and we love interaction, so don't be shy. Today's guest is someone very special to me, not just because she's an incredible leader, an incredible friend as well. It almost make me cry just before in the backstage because she's so sweet. Uh, but also she leads with heart and energy. She's a former award-winning GM, founder of the Wise Pineapple, author of the Yes is the Answer, and I think much more titles that are probably skipping it here. So, and one of the most dynamic voices in hospitality industry today. So let's welcome Christine Trippi to the stage.
I love the
Christine,
applause.
right? I'm loving this sound effect. I'm like playing with it. So, Christine, welcome to the Off the Clock. Thank you so much for being here with me.
Thank you, Paula. It's always a pleasure to be with you.
Thank you so much. So, Christine, I feel like you were one of the few people in hospitality who truly never goes unnoticed, and I say this with like the best possible way. uh when did you realize that being unforgettable as you are was actually your superpower, like you embrace it?
That's a really good question, Paula, because I'll tell you, this brings back a memory. I remember being at the front desk, working at the front desk, and I am just who I am. And I remember just everybody always has this reaction with me. Like, you're just so friendly. You're so and I remember somebody walking away going and thinking, I'm so normal. And then I remember thinking, am I really that different? So it is funny that you mentioned that, but I don't know that I think it was those early days where I just kept getting so many comments about how different I was and how friendly I was, and they haven't experienced service like that, that I started to go, because I didn't think anything of what I was doing. I wasn't even trying. I loved it.
Oh, that's
So I think it was then when I realized that that what I do is different. And this is another kind of similar thing to this, is so many of the ideas I have that have helped me be an award-winning hotelier and help others to be award-winning. I'm like, and before I realized that they were so different, I used to be like just not sharing them with others, because I'm like, everybody knows this stuff, everybody thinks like this. And then I realized that, even I think the things I'm doing are very simple. Not everybody does think that way. And so at some point I was like, okay, I'm going to start sharing this. And I kind of shared things with a little trepidation, thinking, are people going to think this is just stupid? But then people would be like, oh my God, why didn't I ever think of that? And so I started to see, okay, even though I think they're very simple things, I do have a creative brain where other people don't think of them as naturally. Anyways, I'm kind of getting off track there, but I think those were two moments where I thought, oh, this is a gift. This is a gift.
yeah. No, yeah, I love what you said, because sometimes it's being um being someone is share content or share your voice. You might think that what you have to say, it's silly, like,
Right.
sometimes it's no, it's the opposite, because since we are so, of course, it's our own vision, our own experience, we think it's for sure people think like that,
Right.
but people have different views and different backgrounds and
Focuses.
different everything. And then
Mhm.
it's like, oh, I can do things like this XYZ, and I never thought about it or think or see something in a way. So I really
Right.
love that you say that. Like nothing is basically nothing is silly, I think when you're
Hmm.
sharing your experience and stuff. But going back to, I mentioned that you're sweet as a pineapple.
Yes.
And I mean, honestly, Christine, I'm not saying just because we are on screen, but every time I see a pineapple, basically I think of you. Like it became such a, you're a symbol for me.
Yeah.
So I want you to be honest now. How many pineapple theme items do you actually want? And do you have a favorite one?
That's a great question too, because I should go and count them. You can see I have quite a bit of collection here. I've got a
Yeah.
whole collection in my kitchen. There's not a room in this house that doesn't have a pineapple in it. And people will say to me all the time, like they'll give me a pineapple gift. They're like, "Are you sick of pineapples yet?" And I'm like, "I'm not. I love every single one of them." And let me take a look and see. Well, you know what? My pineapple teapot right here.
Yeah.
This is a very special pineapple for me. One, I love tea, and not that I love tea. I do drink iced tea, but I'm not a hot drink tea person. But from my earliest days playing tea party are some of my best memories, and every little kid that I've ever interacted with, when anybody has a baby girl, they get the Fancy Nancy book with the tea party set. I mean, so tea is something special to me. And when I received this gift from my very long-term high school friend Julia Strowski, her mother passed. Oh no, her mother didn't pass. Her mother was moving into a senior home, and they were clearing out her home, and she found all this pineapple things, and she said, "You're the first person I thought of that needs to have these." So to be able to have this sweet teapot, pineapple teapot, is very special to me because her mother is
Oh,
a doll.
that's a sweet, sweet story. It's talking
Yes.
about sweets. Very, yeah, yeah. And now, one thing about you too, Christine, is when you step on stage, as mentioned before, the room changes. You have this energy. You just have it. So you're one of the most energetic, engaging speakers. I mean, not only having the energy, but people actually listen to you when you talk. So I wonder, where does this stage energy come from? It's like it's a natural talent, or did you learn? Maybe the years of hotel adrenaline helped you being that energetic. I don't know.
You know, it's so funny that you bring this up. And before we continue, I just have to say, good morning from California. Hi.
Oh yeah, hello, 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 Craig.
Yeah, I love those comments. Thanks, Greg. So the stage thing. I never dreamed I would be living this life. I never dreamed this. I did not at one point say I want to be this motivational speaker and be on stages, and that never really occurred to me. There may have been moments in my life when people would tell me that I'm inspirational or motivational, that I thought, oh, people would say to me, you should be a motivational speaker or something. And like that was like a ha ha ha. That never occurred to me. It's all how life just happened, why I'm standing in these shoes today. And this is one thing I want to really put out there for anyone listening, is that it all happened from failures. One failure after another, which led to a success, which led to another failure, which led to another, etc. But every time you fail, you need to make sure that, to understand, this is not the end. Failure does not mean the end. It means this is the new beginning. And if you take that failure and keep going forward, you could be living your dream life. And think about this. And I talk about this in my keynote. If you knew, Paula, if you knew you would be living your dream life at the end of 30 failures, how fast would you want to start failing?
Yeah,
Yeah. And
that's
look
a
at
good
you
point.
right now. Our conversation before we got started, I'm talking about your new thing, and you're like, "Yeah, I don't know a lot about video, and I don't know a lot about this, and I want to learn, so I'm just doing this new thing, and I'm just having fun with it." That's what it's all about. Don't worry about failing. Get out there, try stuff, fail, and keep failing forward. And at the end of that, you continue to be building a beautiful life. So back to the energy though, I never planned any of this. I never thought, oh, I'm going to be a speaker, and became classically trained in how to speak. I literally took the passion and knowledge that I have in my heart and I wanted to share it with others. And someone asked me to speak on for their team. I'm like, okay. So I said yes. Yes is the answer.
Yeah.
And then that turned into the next thing. And to this day, every single stage I get on, I have nerves. I worry. Am I, I go through all the things. I have the the imposter syndrome and all that. But how I get myself out of that is I stop thinking about it for myself. Like, will I perform? Will I make a mistake? Will I, blah, blah, blah. And I think about what I get to give the gift of the audience. And if it's only one person in the audience that I touch that day, it was worth it. And that's really what it is. And the other thing I think about from the very beginning is in the world, I might be nervous to approach and talk with anybody and strangers and from people all over the world. But when I'm behind the front desk, I'm somebody else and I can do anything. And I always think of that stage as my front desk. And when I'm at the front desk at a hotel, I'm there to help and serve and give and create memories. And then when I get on that stage, that's what I'm doing. So for me, that front desk is, or that stage is my front desk.
Yeah. Then you become like almost like a persona, I guess. Like you have this yeah, you have confidence basically, I think, in enjoying what you're doing too. That's really
Yes.
clear.
Yes.
So I
And
think
I'll
that
give you
that
a
helps
little,
a lot.
yeah, so sorry. I'll say, I'll give you a little secret.
Yeah.
Until I get my first laugh, I'm nervous. But the minute the audience laughs with me,
Yeah.
I'm like, they like me, and I just flow into it, and I almost, it's almost like an out of body experience. I just go. I'm not even thinking about it. I just give it, and it's like that first laugh. I've got to get that first laugh.
Yeah. Yeah, the first minutes of something like stage or even live show, they're
Mhm.
like I mean they're horrible. I think so too.
Yeah, it
But
can be.
yeah, yeah, it can be. So you mentioned already, you even show your yes is the answer close there. That's really, really cute. So let's talk just a little bit, just for a second, for your book. Of course, yes is the
Sure.
answer. Huge success. So, and it's such a bold statement. Like, well, every time when I see it, also remember, like, I think I go back to my hotel years, days, and then I think, oh, but it is really hard to say yes every time. I know you have a whole approach for that. I know that,
Mhm,
but so that's why I think it's a bold statement.
mhm.
But actually, I want to know, Christine, if is there a time when saying yes actually backfired
I
in
love
your
that.
life?
Let me see.
If it doesn't,
I
that's okay.
I am sure that there has been a yes that's backfired for me. I'm trying to quickly think of an example because not usually. Even when it
Yeah,
turns out negative, I always find this learning in it,
yeah,
or this something that I can use to be more successful next time. Like I can hear myself saying, I just learned 99 ways to say no, or
yeah,
why this won't work.
yeah.
So I always feel like there's always a learning in it, even if I say yes and it didn't go well. I learned
And
one
I think,
new
I think,
way.
I think, yeah, and I think that's why it's hard for you to think that it backfired, because you see it as a
Right.
positive thing, even if it's maybe for other people would take it as a
Is a negative.
as
Right,
a
right,
defeat.
right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
So
maybe
you
that's why
you
it's
just have to go into it knowing I'm going to either I never lose, I win or learn.
yeah, yeah. And not going too much because we unfortunately we don't have the time. But tell me, correct me if I'm wrong. But when you say yes is the answer, or saying yes, or if people interpret it like myself, like you have gonna say yes to everybody. It's not really that, but it's to find another way or
Mhm.
options that it's not a no.
Exactly.
It doesn't make sense what I'm what I'm saying.
It does. And I'll just quickly say there's 4 steps. Make friends first. Before answering any question, pause and connect. When you get your brain out of the anxiety of the no, Then it goes right to the heart, and you can think of what you can do. Step number 2 is tell them what you can do. Step number 3 is offer options. And step number 4 is get creative. Now, I go obviously a lot more into in the book, but when you pause, let's just say, for example, I'll give you a quick, fun example. If someone were to call me and say, I really need you to speak at our GM conference, and it's on this date, and I'm booked already. There's only one of me. Now, I'm not going to say, oh, no, I'm sorry. Unfortunately, I'm booked. I'm going to say, oh, thank you so much for wanting me to come energize your people. I would love to. Let me ask you, are your dates flexible? Is virtual a possibility? If I'll ask some questions. Then if it gets to that last, there's no option, it's a no, I still have a yes. And that is, next year, I am going to be your keynote. And this year, I'm going to give you 3 options of people who are going to knock it out of the water for you. There is always a next yes, but when we start with no, you never get there.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. I really like that. Going to the next question, because I really want to hear from you before we end this show. It's about leadership, of course, because again, you are not just a voice, but a leader in the industry. I also wonder, can be a bit tricky or not, but I don't know, we'll see. What's one leadership belief you had early in your career that completely changed your mind about it, like, no, that's not it, or I don't know.
Thank you for asking. I just literally talked about this on another show that I just recorded this morning. So it's like very top of mind. And it was this, that we, and I think a lot of us gals, we think like this, that we have to do everything. I have to prove myself. I have to work 80 hours. I have to, be there all the time. And that is not good leadership. And it's delegating, it's managing your time better. It is knowing that in order to get the buy-in, you have to let other people be a part of it and not to do everything. So that was a huge learning curve for me. And you know what? I still struggle with it sometimes, especially as an entrepreneur. It's just me, and I have a virtual assistant, but I often think, what can my husband do?
Love that.
Yeah, that was a big lesson.
Yeah. And now that you talk also about you being entrepreneur, and I have also to ask at least one question about it. You had a brilliant award-winning career, as a hotel general manager. You have stability, all that stuff. So what was the moment, or what's the exact moment, if you can remember, that you thought, it's time to bet on myself? And then
I love it. Well, it was when I wrote the book. And when I wrote the book, I all of a sudden started getting, I never dreamed of leaving Marriott, is where I worked before that. And I loved my job so much, I would have done it for free. I loved my job. And I absolutely would have kept doing it. But then I wrote the book just to put it out in the world, just to share this gift with people. I had no intention on it selling 10,000 copies. I had no dreams of that.
Congrats.
Thank you. And so, but then I put it out and people started saying, would you come talk to our team? Would you come talk to our team? And I'm like, sure. So as this started happening, I started to go, okay, maybe I'm meant to do something bigger. And now maybe I can serve any industry, any company, any team, instead of just one brand. Mm-hmm. So January of 2020, I decided to go all in. Wasn't the year to begin a new speaking career.
Yeah.
But I'm so glad I did. I've never looked back. And I have a podcast called The Yes Show. I'll give you the show number. I talk about the real reason why it all came down the way it did in that episode, which is it was very hard for me to share this. But I'll give you the show note. You can put it in your show notes.
Yeah, please. No, for sure. As soon as this finish, I'm going to go check it out. As soon as you give me the number and all that, I'm going to check it out. And Christine, as I told you, unfortunately, the show is a bit short.
Yes.
And the last part is the most fun one for me. Okay. It really takes just a few minutes.
Sure.
So we're shifting gears now. And this is the moment, Christine, moments that no hospitality leader escapes, because it's time for, let me see. It's time for Would You Rather,
I
which
love
is
it.
this. So, Christine, basically, I will give you two situations. No overthinking. You're just going to tell me which one you prefer. All right?
Okay.
So, let's do this. Christine, would you rather manage a fully booked hotel during a system outage? Is that how to say it?
Outage.
Thing? Or launch a brand new keynote in front of 2,000 people with no rehearsal?
I want to say the keynote, but I also want to manage the hotel.
No challenge is big enough for Christine. So
Yeah.
you would, yeah,
I
cool.
can literally
Next
see
one.
myself having a lot of fun with that one. But I think ultimately, I think I'll pick the keynote.
Okay, good. Next one. Would you rather? Let me put it here. Just a second. Otherwise, I forget. Here. Would you rather work a 16-hour hotel shift again, or take 5 back-to-back flights in 1 week for speaking gigs? Flights or shift, long shift.
I'm going to say a long shift,
Cool.
but I love flying too. So, and I'm
Would you
really
rather doesn't really work for Christine.
yeah, I know, right?
Next one, Christine. Would you rather forget your opening line on stage, or trip walking up to the stage in heels? Which is worse?
I would rather trip with my opening line, or I'm sorry, trip walking on stage, because my last name's Trippi, and I could turn it into a really fun joke, and that will give me my first laugh that I can then be relaxed.
Wow, that's really clever. I love that. Really, really, really did. Really, really do. Next one. Would you rather speak to a silent, serious executive audience, or to a super distracted, phone scrolling crowd?
A silent executive audience.
Yeah. I
Both
think
are hard though.
yeah, it is. But I think you would manage to grab their attention in,
I do.
whatever the situation was. And last one. Would you rather host a hospitality conference in flip-flops, or attend one where everyone else is in pajamas except you? You were the one that didn't get the
I'm going
invite.
with the pajamas.
Cool. Yeah, I can
Yes.
see you in the pajamas actually, Christine, to be honest.
Yes. Flip flops, I can't stand the little thing between my toes.
Oh, really? For Brazilian, this is like flip-flops that we use like everywhere, like
Yes.
seriously everywhere. It's like our second skin or something.
Staple. Yeah.
But you survived the Would You Rather, so thank you for playing along. And to wrap things up, Christine, when you're completely off the clock, no events, no flights, no meetings, nothing. What does your ideal day look like? What do you like to do when you're off the clock?
When I'm off the clock, I love being with my puppies. I love doing things that scare the hell out of my husband, like hiking, taking selfies on a mountain, jumping out of planes. I love travel. I love it getting my adrenaline up. I love trying things new. That is what I love to do. I love to say yes to new things.
That's nice. Well,
Before
that's it
we
for
leave,
today.
I have to
Sure,
say
sure, sure.
something. Everybody out there, I want you to know how amazing Paula is. She is so amazing. She was the first person who ever, like 6 years ago, who ever interviewed me for an article she was writing. And I have had the most pleasure watching you develop and grow. I feel like we've both been doing that over these last 6 years. And you are just such a special person to me. And I want everyone out there listening to know how amazing you are. You're always saying yes. You're always pushing yourself further to learn and grow and become the amazing human you are. Thank you, Paula.
Oh, I don't know how to respond to that. I am very emotional and silly, so thank you so much. You know that you always inspire me. and you're always there for me if I say, I'm having trouble with whatever it is, or if I'm starting a new project. You are
Mhm.
like the number one fan, so I really, really appreciate it, because sometimes, it's easy on theory that to go for it, be brave,
Right.
but in reality, it's scary.
It
So it's
is.
nice
It
to have
is.
people like you, always saying go for it, and I have your back and all that. So I really
Yes.
appreciate it.
Well,
Oh,
you're an inspiration. Thanks for being here.
oh, thank you, Christine. Again, I don't know how to finish this one, but I appreciate I appreciate your kind words. I also appreciate everybody that is joining us.
Yes.
And Craig, I know you you sent a lot of comments. I'm sorry, I
Christine
missed
kept
some of
Birkenstocks.
them.
I gotta show you, Craig. Today I'm wearing compression socks.
I
I
love
love it.
hospitality,
Oh my god.
really.
Hi, Craig.
So,
Greg. I'm sorry, Craig and
oh,
Greg.
Greg, yeah, Greg is joining us too, to hospitality
I love seeing you
superstars.
guys.
Thank you so
How
much, Greg.
about
You have
Paula?
to
How
come to
about
the
we end
show.
on the count of three? We both say yes.
Yeah, let's do this.
Okay, and boys,
Okay,
you say it
so
with
that
us.
yeah, that just say that's a wrap for the off the clock, just for the. And thank you, Christine, again for taking the time to be here with me. So thank you all for watching, being in the chat, supporting. And if you enjoy, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I know I'm annoying a lot now, but it really helps for someone that is just starting. And yeah, so that's it for today, and that was off the clock. So what is
Yay!
the Yes!
On the count of three.
Yes!
One,
Okay.
2, 3. Yes!
Yes!
It almost worked.